Welcome to my pile of rocks. Okay, so actually, I was going to reveal what I had in my hand, and it's not one of these, but these kind of bring me around to the story of what was in my hand. So let me show you. It's a large fang tooth. So I'm going to talk about it for a moment. I think it's a bottom fang of a very large animal. It was found, I believe, on Cape Cod on the beach. If I take a fluorescent light, yes, it will fluoresce. Most teeth are going to have kind of like these vertical lines on the enamel. There were some indications from things I've learned from doing what I do that when people from the archaic paleo age had killed something, or I shouldn't use that word, but off something, they would take a large dowel or something very large. I actually have a couple rocks showing this, but I'd have to unearth my collection to show what I mean. And they would knock out the teeth. And I've taken this to groups, and the thing is, people just don't know. They don't know how to research this type of thing. All they want to see is arrowheads and chipped things, and none of this is consistent with napped artifacts. So, but you have to, use your head a little bit when you look at these things. So I can see, like, this was repeatedly hit with, something. You can kind of see the percussion marks in there. So when it actually did fall out of the creature's mouth, and it probably hit it here too, the owner or person who did it said, well, let's make this into, maybe it looks like, maybe make that a mouth, and that a nose, and that an eye. Kind of looks like a moose head, or maybe it cracked a little bit when it was being knocked out. So make this little area here an ear. There's the eye, the nose. It kind of looks like a black bear head. The thing is, if this is a fang, it's far bigger than a black bear's teeth. It's probably closer to that. That's what I want to figure out. Like, first I was wondering, well, I searched the internet to see any comparisons. I searched whale teeth. I think whale teeth are a lot different. We'll just say I can't find anything that resembles that. Like, you'd have like small tooth whales, like the orcas and stuff like that. No, this looks more like a land animal. Maybe a large seal. We don't. Doesn't seem consistent with a walrus or anything. And we don't really have, well, I mean, during the Ice Age, they might have come down here. It might be a bear tooth. That's what I'm leaning most towards. like, I think this would sit in the mouth, like on the bottom part of the jaw. But there's like during the Ice Age, you would have like short-faced bears, probably this part of the country. The brown bear might have been present. Polar bear might have been. But right now we don't have anything but black bears, which are kind of small. Also, okay, so back over to these. Here's an interesting thing. Yesterday I was at an axe factory, the axe factory in town, and it had samples of, and this was open like during the late 1800s, early 1900s, and it closed down probably after like the hurricane in the 1950s. So it like just really wasn't doing well. They had swatches of walrus skin. That walrus skin was this thick. And I was like, you know what? It actually looked a lot like these thicker rocks. And actually, the moment I want to say that these are just rocks that are chipped, I find thread on them. So they're petrified. And they aren't napped. They aren't napped like an arrowhead was. So if I take these to an artifact group, I get criticized. Those aren't artifacts. Those are just rocks. It's like, listen, you know what this is? This is what I'm very proud of. This is a megatherum. That's this makes me want to cry because look at this artistry. Look, that animal died out about 12,000 years ago, okay? And you can see thread marks right in there, and its claws up by its face. That's its eye, and that's its nose, and that's its ear. Nobody knows what a megatherum ear looks like, okay? This isn't the only one I have, okay? This is a showstopper, if you understand what I'm talking about. And then it's so detailed that when I turn it over, the artistry, the perspective, Mama Megatherum is looking away. So giant ground sloth. And this is her baby. It rides on her back like it clings on like a tree sloth. And okay, she's twisted a bit. Her tail is under her butt. Okay, and this is her right claw. So imagine she's a bit twisted. She's looking away. This is the baby riding on the mama's back. The foot's down here. Now, this is the way the paleo art works. If you turn it this way, this part is a head, the mouth, nose, horns, eye. It's a woolly rhino. I do put a little ink there so to help people see, but that helps me to find out and see. I believe, oh yeah, little things like you've got a human effigy along there. That, to me, that's minor compared to megatherum, okay? I love this, so I'm going to go through this stuff quickly. This piece, it does have some shape and form to it, but I think it's more like a base, because I remember, at the time I thought I was finding fossils. I didn't realize that I was probably in a grave. I didn't know what I was looking at. So this stuff was all on a wall, and I believe they all kind of stacked up together. this was part of it. I didn't realize. Bear. Look, you see the human face there, and then there's an animal looking to the right, ear, eye, nose, and then this is just intense. Now, I had put a lot of paint on this, and then I took the paint off because it just lost everything. This is a face, and then you could see a braid coming down here. I was looking down at these figures here, and I was like, this looked like a grieving mother. As I look closer, it looks like there's a deceased person down here. I see another face kind of coming in a circular pattern, and it looks like a Fibonacci spiral of life, death, rebirth. And you can see the human profile along here, like someone who has passed. Nose, mouth. That's pretty deep. And I believe this was like kind of just nestled. It somehow fit on that. I'm not gonna try to figure it out, but that one too, I believe, was on part of this. I traced that one. Mind you, these are probably about over 12,000 years old. Okay, we see this guy here. If you turn him over, it's a deer head. Antlers up here, but it's also a howling wolf. Okay. I'm trying to go through this quickly. Like, they're just deceiving. Like, I believe, like, these might have been, like, remnants, pieces that would not have been used, like ears. Okay, what can you do with an ear? Make it into an ornament. So this might have been like a cut-off point. You can see like an animal shape in there, but more so, I just did this one yesterday. Animal, ear, eye, nose, but then look, ear, trunk, leg, back legs, back here. I turn it, let your eyes adjust. Head, eye, trunk, tusk, ear. We've got a mammoth head there. Turn it a bit more. A nose, a mouth, an eye, an ear, a human effigy. You see it, the back of the head. So say nose, mouth, eye. Give you a second. It's a lot to take in. So, I mean, this is a good ink blot test. I mean, what do you see? This looks like ear parts, doesn't it? I mean, all that, like the cartilage of the ear, the way it's shaped. You can see a face there. Watch carefully. So the face is looking to the right, but now look to the left as I turn it. You see the mammoth head. Okay. I mean, they're just cool like this. So what I'm getting to, back to this is a very lightweight piece, and I found it under the tree, a tree that had fallen. This is, this has always kind of confused me, this area here, but I think I understand it now. I'll get to that. So I finally traced this side. and what looks like a bear head, but then I see a human face in there, and I figure this furry part down here is a collar, because I see a cuff here. He's wearing like a winter coat, like an Inuit would. His hand is here, and he seems to be holding on to the nose of this bear. Now think of all those sharp tools that the natives use. He's taking one of those sharp tools and he's flaying the flesh off of this bear head right there. You see it's a little bit pinker. It's got a dimension there. The flesh is coming off. He's working. You can see his hand right there. It's kind of like, let's zoom out a little bit. His hand is like this. It's right there, and he's got this tool, and he's cutting away the flesh of this bear head. There's his other hand kind of holding the nose. But then I was looking at a photograph that I had taken, and I mean, besides the fact of when I turn this up, you have like a human effigy here with the nose and the mouth kind of like looking down. Forehead, nose, mouth, chin. Then I saw something over here coming out of his coat collar, and it's not easy to see, but it's like there's a face of somebody looking down. This might take a little bit of a turn. The cuff becomes a hand. The hand is holding like a baby hand. There's a baby. It all comes together. So if you kind of see the little face there, hand, baby's face. In order to survive the Ice Age in cold weather, the father has to go out, hunt these big game, provides the skin that keeps his wife and child warm, and they use every part. So we turn it over, and even though, I mean, this part looks like the mouth and nose of one animal, but and I would remember art is layered. This kind of makes sense. This also looks like a nose. So what I'm seeing here is that is an eye socket. He's cleaned the skin off of this bear. He's knocked the teeth out of the bear. And also think what this is made of. It's rolled up, it's wrapped up, and you can also see kind of a human face there. The teeth are knocked out. The nose is up here. The eye is back there, so there's a dimension. For a while I thought this was some kind of tool or a whistle. But I'm not really seeing that now. I mean, I think it's telling a story. It could have been, but for the most part, this is like very lightweight. It's not as dense as this. Okay, and I know I'm taking up a lot of time and saying a lot of things. I'm just showing you, like, this one I cleaned down to the point where you can't actually see thread marks. And look, there's an effigy looking to the right there. But it's very rough. A lot of these little flecks in there, I believe, are hair follicles. can see like little tiny threads in there. If I go around, you can see it, like along the top there. Right down in there to give it form. Okay, so this one I just worked on the other day. I thought this was interesting. You got a cat head with a nose, ear, and eye. But then I saw something at the top. And there's a cat there. Cat leg, a cat head, legs, back leg. But then I was seeing things over here. I mean, you can also turn it and you get another animal looking to the left, with the ear over here. This is what I mean, it's layered art. So if I turned it up this way, I didn't make it there that clear. I have to get the angle right so that the light can hit it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. So now this cat is like hanging. Then I noticed there's a human figure here, and these figures, which I didn't really outline, are like children or people looking up. There's a person's face here. And I'm kind of wondering if this guy has his arm on his shoulder. Congratulations on your first KILL. You're providing for our family. You can kind of see one of the children's faces down here. It's even got a little braid. I mean, this is what, how these people had to survive. Okay, yeah, you can kind of see this person here. Okay, so it's like the paws of the animal become like the hunter. Like they're carrying it on their back. So it almost looks like the woman is carrying it on her back. I don't know. So there's a person there, like arm. This looks like a man's shape. And then you've got these smaller people down there. I don't know. It's vague. The relief is low, so you can't really tell. But that one is for sure there. Yeah. So sorry that was a bit long-winded, but that tells a story, especially when we come to this one, that teeth being knocked out. I have like a lot of sloth teeth. We know how much early natives like to have their bling. They like their jewelry, and there it is.